Hi there, and welcome to the Rangers News YouTube channel. It's Jordan Carlisle here alongside Cammy this
How you
week.
doing?
Not too bad, thanks. Another mixed week. Good for us.
Mixed is being kind, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Good for us in that we passed the 2K subscribers finally, which was great. So thanks for anyone who signed up last week. But first protocol is to have a look. I know we're a bit late on the old Hamilton debacle. But to have a look at how the team that came to Ibrox bottom of the Scottish Premiership left with 3 points, and then how on at the weekend against Ross County, another team who are down there, scrapping away for survival, how it took a heavily deflected Ryan Kent shot in the 77th minute for us to beat them. And we're having a look beforehand, and I think it's 10 goals Rangers have scored in the Premiership in 10 games after the winter break. So what is going on with the performance levels?
I don't know. Really hard to put a finger on the entire thing. Against Hamilton, didn't think it could get any worse than Hearts. And I think Stephen Gerrard said the same thing, and it did. We were absolutely atrocious. Hamilton came there with a game plan, the same one which teams up and down the country must be kind of copying and trying to adopt, where they just hurried us. They were good. And with this Rangers team at the minute, when we go behind, it doesn't look like we're going to get back into the match. And teams now know that let Rangers pass the ball about, their back four, which appears to be a tactic which is just absolutely mind-boggling. Every game, passing it about a back four. And let them kind of come at you, stay tight, stay compact, and eventually one of their players will make a mistake, right? And it happens every game. And that's what happened. Quite a mix up between. I think Tavernier probably should have put his foot through it. I don't know what Goldson was thinking. For me, kind of summed up the kind of arrogance and contempt that a lot of that Rangers team, given that they're coming from down south into a league that they're not that aware of, treat the opponents, because to do that, that drag back in his own penalty box is arrogant, and I said he got everything that he deserved. Rangers at that point when we went 1-0 down against Hamilton, I was like, there's no point continuing to watch this. We're going to get beat, and lo and behold, we did. Against Ross County, I started seeing the same thing happening again. Save for Alan McGregor, it would have. It absolutely would have. The Kent equaliser, good. I think Kent has been getting a lot of stick, obviously, with his price tag, but even though things weren't coming off for him yesterday, he kept trying hard, he kept working hard, and he eventually got his rewards, and it meant a lot to him at the end. But he dug us out of jail, because if Ross County had scored, that would have been our third 1-0 in a row, because I do not think we would have got back into the match. And it papered over the cracks because there are serious problems happening at Rangers.
I think obviously, I think we were quick to criticise Kent and stuff after Christmas, but I suppose in a team where very few people are stepping up to do anything of note, that's in Braga and at Ross County. Obviously he's got a helping hand with the deflection yesterday, but he stepped up and did that. Mm-hmm. But is the fact, is it not just a sign that he gets the goal from switching over to the right-hand side? And what we've seen week on week is the same players put out in the same positions, doing the same things, which fail to come off. So that's something a bit different. Stick him over onto the right-hand side, bring Jordan Jones on, just something a little bit different. He obviously scored from over that side against Hamilton earlier in the year when things were going well. Mm-hmm. But is that not just a sign? Just do things a bit differently and just see? Because at the minute, Stephen Gerrard's saying, it can't get any worse than Hearts. But it's also not going to get any better or markedly better if you just keep doing the same things.
I think the players have kind of lost faith in the system that he keeps playing. I think that we need a fresh injection of enthusiasm and change and something a little bit different, because they're going into matches with their heads down and they're not able to match the intensity and work rate and collectivism and solidarity that the teams that we're playing are offering. And that's what's costing us in matches. It rests with the management for me. To be that stubborn, like what you're saying, Kent scores the goal from outright yesterday. Hadji's essentially wasted on the wings, which you alluded to in an earlier video, but a Romanian journalist saying that was essentially going to happen. We do think we need a change in system, but much of this, there's two factors. Morelos isn't scoring, right? Yeah. And it's difficult to properly judge the situation with Morelos because of everything that happens behind the scenes, all the kind of vitriolic treatment that he's got. but also his attitude just stinks. And I think Rangers fans find it difficult to express what's going on there, or to criticise him too much, or to give him too much leeway simply because of it. And when the actual fact is he's not performing, and he isn't scoring, and if he scored, take his goals out the team, and we're a very ordinary outfit. And I think that's a big thing as well. But with the management team, they have to change it up. They have to do something different. They have to give the players something that's going to fill them with confidence coming out, because they're playing this system every game. They're losing faith in it, I think, and it's costing us.
Yeah, I think it's a good point about Morales, because you don't know. Earlier in the year, we'll have some of these like very good performances, say away in Europe or at home in Europe, and he's the man making the difference. So if he's not there, you don't get the results. And right now, he's not going to score those goals in that situation. I think away at Feyenoord, basically that was always it was going to be a tough place to go. But he gets 2 chances, 2 headers, sticks them both away, and you get a result out there. Whereas now, not only are there no goals, there's no movement. And something that's exposed that I think was still the case earlier in the season is that Rangers do not get enough bodies into the box at any point. So you'll have boys cutting down the wing, so we don't play with wingers, as they say. But then when Kent is on one touchline and Hadji's on the other, we are playing with wingers, and no one's making that, because the difference is there's no number 10. It's 3 midfielders. At best, you're getting 1 into the box.
There's no break
Morales.
and run. Yeah.
There's no flooding of the box. So if you're playing a Hamilton team who know that,
I mean, it's such a strange thing to employ when your main tactic appears to be get the ball out to the wing and put a cross into the box, and there's no one in the box. I think Morelos earlier in the season was coming deep, getting the ball and being effective. I think, yeah, against Hamilton, I thought that he started all right, and he just kind of drifted into obscurity. Yeah. Against Ross County, the same. He loves to kind of pick a ball up, get it in the left wing and drive. But because he's doing that, and he's not playing well, and the whole team isn't playing well. You're right. In the box, there's just nothing. There's no one, and it's getting pretty drastic. I think you don't want to criticise the team too much for Ross County because we won. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that was about victory, kind of resetting. Let's go again, give ourselves something to build on. But
had there been no context, it would have been fine. Everyone would be happy with the 1-0 win. Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, where do we go from here? Does he keep sticking with the system just because we beat Ross County? Do we change something up? I mean, do we have the players to change change the system up? There's players in that squad that he clearly doesn't trust, but players in that squad that would walk into a Ross County team, that would walk into a Hamilton team, that he's not playing against that opposition. So whether or not he thinks that they're the right standard to get into the starting 11 of the Rangers team, they almost certainly should be at a standard that can compete with those players. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it just hasn't the entire season. He just hasn't played them.
I think that's a great point, because if you look at it on any given day, all 11 in that Rangers team are likely to be better, or at least have pedigree that is greater than those in the other teams, especially the teams that they've struggled against in recent times at the bottom of the table. So one-on-one, it should be fine. And this is a team who are unprepared to put bodies in boxes. But Rangers are supposed to be dominating games, and it's, say, away at Kilmarnock when you're 1-0 up. You change it a wee bit. You're happy with being 1-0 up. You're not pressing for a second, for a third. Then it gets nervy. Then they score again at the end, and you lose it. It's just, I think, a pattern of not asserting themselves enough. And as you said at the start about at the back, if the players that Jared currently has at the back have so much time to pass the ball about, they will eventually make a mistake. And we've seen throughout the year, it's been free Kalic, get him in the team. Then he has a shambles, and Edmondson comes in, and he was brilliant in Braga. Then was awful against Hearts.
He's been pretty poor since.
How do you explain it?
But I mean, Katish does absolutely screw it up against St Johnstone, costs us the game or whatever, and then he's just straight out of the team. I mean, no, he got on at the end of the game yesterday, but I don't know, all the Rangers fans kind of a lot of Rangers fans are talking about the Connor Goldson thing and the mistake that he made against Hearts, and I think he's our most senior centre back right now, and I think that we'd be a considerably weaker team if we went with Katic and Edmondson at centre back, simply because of how nervous everybody is. And I think you're absolutely right when you're talking about imposing our game on teams. We appear to have like a serious inability to impose our games on teams. But the thing is, Jordan, what is our game?
Well,
what is it? What in tactics are we employing? What is every single game I'm watching a mirror image of us just passing it about our centre backs, eventually getting it to the left or right back. Maybe a Rebo will pick it up and try and drive through the midfield. Maybe Kent will try and do the same. What are we actually doing? We look clueless. It's a team that is lacking direction and leadership, and I don't think it's only on the pitch. I think it's at the side of the pitch as well. I don't have a clue what tactic we're trying to employ, and whilst we're all sitting trying to like kind of dissect the kind of 4-3-3 or the 4-2-4-3-2-1 or whatever. I don't even know what the game plan is. Yeah. I'm watching it like that. What is the game plan here? What are we trying to do? Are we just putting those 11 players out and telling them, right, just go for it? I don't know. We can't impose our game if there's no game to impose.
Yeah, it seems to be a confused mix of, we're going to play it out from the back, but we're also going to hit diagonals, and we're going to have players who are creative in the middle, but they don't play in the middle, they play out wide, and with one man leading the line. But then if we play Canberra's a striker playing the left, and just a lack of cohesiveness. I
mean, in yesterday, you've seen Stephen Davis picking a ball up continuously off the two centre halves and then pinging woeful balls over the top. I mean, we have not been helped by how inaccurate his distribution of the ball has been, not even from over the top, from runs from midfield. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 yard passes, and it's just everything just seems to be off. And I think that we need. I think that the backroom staff need to reshuffle and have a rethink before it's too late.
Okay, so big week coming. Very big week in terms of, obviously, a lot of stuff's off the cards due to the recent form, but changes needed. Maybe not in Europe because it's fine in Europe, but it's fine in Europe. It's just at home. It's just against Ross County and Hamilton. But Braga are fine, and Porto are fine, and Feyenoord are fine, but sure. It makes perfect sense.
I mean, would you be raging at them if they beat Bayer Leverkusen?
I know you might just be like, is there any chance?
This team is just such a huge source of frustration. You can tell that they've clearly got ability, and Steven Gerrard deserves credit for amassing the team 14 or 15 players, because the rest of the team he doesn't seem to trust, but that clearly have ability that I'm confident playing Celtic with 11 against 11. I don't think that we've got the same strength of depth in squad terms. I think it's a big ask for Rangers to compete over the course of the season in terms of their quality throughout their squad. But I mean, we've got a good 11. I mean, I just don't know where we go from here. It's a difficult, man. But this team, I see how frustrated I get with them. 1 second I'm like, wow, it's amazing football. You've done this great performance in Europe or in big games or even against lesser teams in the first half of the season. And other teams, they frustrate the life out of me. And I just, sometimes I'm like, can I stand them?
I despair.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, we'll leave that there.